we have the Swahili bill. Which Swahili bill? Swahili is a subject which is examinable. However, when the bill was sent for preparation, it was sent to Minister of Gender. The bill was sponsored by the Minister of Gender, and the Minister of Gender even didn't sign on the bill. So we don't know whether it was deliberate or what. So that's where we are saying, is it under gender or it is under what? Education. And the House insisted that it should be under education.
Seek your permission that the two ministries can be given an opportunity to reconcile in cabinet on Monday. Then we'll consider this bill when we have harmonized internally next week.
There was a legal question which these two parties should have gone out to settle before they return here with the bill. Ideally, the minister should move to withdraw this bill so that it is introduced in a proper way. Otherwise, if we proceed on this bill, you must brace yourself for a legal challenge, and this is a notice to Parliament.
Okay. Yes.
Bills, there is always discussion in cabinet. I don't know why the front bench wants to put us in a very big dilemma and make us appear ugly. I think it is important, Right Honourable Speaker, for our colleagues in the front bench to take a humble pie and make us appear tidy. Otherwise, we are going to have a very big problem. And Right Honourable Speaker, this is not the first time we are facing this scenario. I remember even when we were discussing, I think it was the health insurance bill, we almost fell into the same problem. So I don't know what kind of discussion actually happens in the executive when matters of this nature come up. I think they should really need to guide us.
Honourable Speaker, I'm glad the Minister has considered on one element to say an error was occasioned and the bill was not signed. That should never happen, because I'm sure you have teams that help you put these things together. The Minister has also said that they are going to consult within Cabinet to determine whether or not to withdraw the bill. Honourable Speaker, I don't think there's two ways around it, because the law is the law. So I don't think you can sit and agree and say we shall not follow the law. As it is now, Honourable Speaker, we have got two options. That government can be humble enough, acknowledge a mistake that was made, withdraw the bill. Or as Parliament, we use our prerogative to throw the bill out, which will make you look shabby. So we're only helping you as government to say, withdraw, concede, you need to reorganize internally. So you withdraw what you brought before us here, go back, sit, get organized, which ministry is bringing this bill, make sure it is signed and so on. If they don't want to do that, we use our powers as Parliament to throw it out.
Lord, on top of that, our chairs of the committees should also exercise the procedural prudence to make sure that the bill is fully, it is signed, or it has all the ingredients that require it to be what? To be processed.
I agree, Right Honourable Speaker, because you see, there are many gatekeepers. So the first gatekeeper is the minister who is bringing the bill. Once your technical people put it together for you, you ought to realize there's an issue. The second gatekeeper is at the committee stage. The third and final gatekeeper is here in the House. And so we did our good gatekeeping here in the House to say there is a problem here. We hope that now it can be reversed in a very nice way. So don't put us in a difficult situation as government to say we are going to see whether we withdraw or not. Because if you do not withdraw, we shall do the legal thing to say we have rejected it. I don't know if that's what you want.
Madam Speaker, if I may, since the leader of the incoming government problem, which will happen after 100 years, the government works in a certain way that as a minister, you cannot come here and withdraw the bill. I have got to go back to cabinet, and then we harmonize and come back when we organized, and we are committed to bring it back. Thank you.
I think the problem starts with the laying of papers. In the past, we had a minister who said, I beg to lay when he had nothing in his hand. But the answer captured him as if he was laying something. I think we need to scrutinize documents that are being laid on table, because that's where the problem starts. When the minister presents a bill for the first reading and he says, I beg to lay, I think the technical people who are helping the presiding officer may quickly have to check, because these ministers have laid the air before. But for me, Madam Speaker, you have two issues with this particular bill. The first is how it was introduced and accepted by Parliament without obeying the rules of procedure. The second issue, I guess, for which the Honorable Gov't says Cabinet needs to... Our rules, Madam Speaker, don't encourage members to storm your chair, like the Honorable Chiwanuka is doing, because I am addressing the chair. So there are two issues, Madam Speaker, with this particular bill. The first is that it did not meet the technicality of being accompanied by a memorandum signed by the minister. Two, Madam Speaker, and you allow me, I disagree with every colleague here who says this Swahili Council should be moved from gender to Minister of Education. That's why yesterday I wanted to make my submission. I am disagreeing with the whole idea of creating a council. We study English, and all of you here speak English. Is there a council for English? You speak your language, Luganda, etc. You cannot be the same Parliament supporting rationalization and you allow government in a lazy way to begin creating a council. Because I don't know how this government works. We should thank God that we still exist. Because if you want a language to popularize, just introduce it and make it compulsory in schools. You have 12 million children who are in primary schools. Why do you bother Parliament and the whole afternoon you are debating creation of a council, whether it should be here or there, for purposes of promoting a language? 12 teachers teach everybody, like some of us who went through those schools were even being beaten to speak English. But we are here as a Parliament allowing this lazy government to also carry us along. That we want to promote Swahili, therefore a council be created. So, Madam Speaker, that's the submission I intended to make yesterday. That actually we should just reject the creation of the council. If it exists, we abolish and then assign this government the responsibility to go and administratively promote Swahili. Do the soldiers who speak Swahili, do they have a council in the military? So really, I don't want to be part of this lazy business.
Honourable members, as we wait for the harmonization.
To clarify on the issue of the Swahili bill, which was raised in your opening remarks. One, I can say without fear of contradiction that the memorandum that we're dealing with was signed. Number two, on the issue of where the bill should reside was interrogated and considered, and we have considered view in Cabinet that it should be in the Ministry of Gender. However, Right Honourable Speaker and Honourable colleagues, for us to be able to give a coherent and well-organized answer, we can defer this to next week and come back and answer all these questions appropriately with the relevant evidence. Thank you.
For your information, the record we have was from the Office of Clerk, and the clerk is a custodian of record of Parliament, and the record, we have examined that document. It shows there is no accompanying explanatory memorandum signed by the minister who proposed the bill. I'm told when a question of law has been raised and is brought to the attention of the presiding officer, it must be resolved before we proceed. You are making a claim without substantiating it with evidence which would support your claim. Madam Speaker, this matter, if you do not resolve it well, it is going to raise questions about that chair you're occupying, because it has serious implications for admissibility of this matter. I would pray for you to excuse yourself. These people must withdraw. In the alternative, the Attorney General
Excuse myself and leave the chair, or
no? I mean, you don't put yourself in a, because the public is judging. The document was examined here. It was verified. There was no signature. So, at what point was it signed, and how did it get introduced to the House? These are all questions that will be raised. So, to save face, I think the most honorable thing to be done is to withdraw. I remember a similar matter arose like this, and Attorney General, we went to negotiate with you out there, and we agreed the thing would be. We didn't speak about it to expose it unnecessarily. Now there's a repetition. It is becoming a culture that the rules of this Parliament can be breached by anybody on the watch of the presiding officers. I think that is uncalled for. It will be another indictment on this Parliament. I don't agree with that.
Right Honourable Speaker, I will repeat that what I have asked for is to come back with the relevant documents. Now, if my colleague wants me to present them now, I can say I don't have the file now, but the thing is that the documents I know will come with them. The minister who sponsored the bill will bring them.
Honourable members, after consultation between the two, and we must work as a team in the House, we will give government up to Tuesday. Short of that, come and withdraw your bill. If you don't withdraw your bill, we shall help you as a House. We shall help you as a House to get it out. Next item. Yes.